Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I'm here with a very short video updating my Frankenplanner. So I'm excited about this video because I finally get to talk to you about dividers. I purchased this set of dividers from Amazon. I will link this in the description if you want to purchase these. These are just like super simple top tab dividers as well as side tab dividers. And I wanted to talk to you about how I use these in my Frankenplanner. So I'm going to start off with getting them out of the packaging. Sorry for the noise. But I was glad to be able to find this on Amazon just because it is, sometimes hard to come by. You probably already know this, but I like to make my own dividers. But if you are not the DIY type, then definitely these dividers can work for you. Now for me, I clearly have already mentioned Frankenplanning, but I like to have a Frankenplanner. A Frankenplanner is where you combine multiple planners into one. And for the month of February, I have it in this Work Plus Life cover. And initially in my setup, I did go through and put in the dividers that came with each of the planners. Now that totally works, and I think it's totally fine to have it like that. But one thing that really to me is bothersome is when dividers are laid on top of each other, and I personally don't like it to be out of order. So I love to have my dividers kind of go, from top to bottom and, just kind of be in the correct order. Like the first section has the first tab, the second section has the second tab, so on and so forth. So what that means is I am going to change out the dividers so that way they go in the order that I like. I also personally like to mark off the most important sections with a top tab. Now, I do like to use both top tabs and side tabs. And so for me, the difference is side tabs mark off sections. And so for me, this is generally speaking going to be like each of the different planners that I use. And then top tabs are where I can go directly to the section or like the specific page within a certain planner. I did mention in a previous video when I hold these dividers that I wanted a second set, but I actually do DIY my own dividers, and so I decided not to purchase a second set. I just decided to keep the one set to show you how I do it, and then I'll end up pulling in my own dividers to fill in the rest of the sections. But again, for me, it's very simple. I Frankenplan, I put all of my planners together. Certainly, you do not have to buy dividers to do this. You can use the dividers that come with each of the planners. But for me personally, it just is bothersome to have it out of order. And so what I like to do is replace these dividers with side tabs. And again, for me, side tabs are each of the planners that I use. So what I'm going to do is actually go through and take these dividers out and replace them with this side tab divider. Now, obviously one thing that happens is that you lose this and you lose like just a nice cover and all of those things. One thing that you can do, and I may or may not do this, is just kind of trim this off and then it could be a nice divider. I'm trying to think, should I do that? I'm not going to do that. Just in case I want to reuse these dividers. One thing that you can do is just cover it with like a piece of scrapbook paper just so it doesn't look like this. But in this method, I definitely don't use the monthly, and so I don't need this other side. But if you do use the monthly, I would actually suggest cutting off that tab, so that way you only use the tabs for the new side tab dividers that you have. All right, so that's my first section, and that one needs to be relabeled as my chores planner. This is my second section, which is my budget planner. This one is my Q&A journal. And again, I'm just taking out the dividers and replacing with the side tabs. Right, fourth section here is my family planner. Somehow I missed this divider, so it was out of order. So definitely want to put this divider here. I love these dividers because you can see through it, and I will go through after this video and probably just put a piece of scrapbook paper in here. It's just so it's not like just the monthly. It doesn't look super pretty like that, So this next one is going to be the fifth section, which is going to be my faith planner. All right, and then the sixth one right here is going to be my reading planner. I do have one more section, which is my personal planner, and you can kind of see right here that I have a weekly and a daily for my personal, and so I don't have enough dividers for that. But I'm okay with just marking these first few and using this tab here. So just because I'm out, I'm going to leave it as that. Now for my top tab dividers, I use top tab dividers to mark like that day. And so I only have 4. I'm only going to mark 4 different planners. And so what I actually like to do, and this is one of the things that I do that's a little bit different, is I like to start at the outside. So this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. So I know a lot of people go this way and it's first, second, third, fourth. I like to go the opposite way. So this is first, second, third, fourth. And so I know it's a little bit different, but that's just the way that I do it. So some of these sections, like right here, my home section, it's only a couple of pages, so I don't necessarily need to mark it with a top tab, and I don't actually go in there all that often. Same with my budget, so I don't necessarily need to mark it. But the first one that I am going to mark is my Q&A journal. I come in here all the time to be able to like ask questions of my daughter, so I want to be able to mark that. And then this one is my family planner. I don't think I'm going to mark this one either, right? And then my faith planner, I do want to put in here just because there's multiple pages. I'm going to put it for this week just because there's already notes in here, and I don't want to show that to you. They're notes from I purchased this off of DStash, and the person who destashed it to me, she didn't tell me that she had written in it, but she did, so I don't want to show that off. All right, and then the last 2 sections I'm going to mark are my personal planner, and so I'm going to put it in here for my weekly time tracking, right, and then my daily page, just because it helps me to not have to flip quite so much in these different sections, right? And so we're going to mark it right here on the 7th today, right? And then that is all. Now, I definitely do want more top tab dividers. I feel like I didn't mark enough sections here, but I want to be able to just kind of like get exactly to the section that I need, and now I can do that by flipping like this. I definitely marked the most important ones, but if I could have another set of like 4 and mark all 8 of these planners, because I do have 8 in here, that would be perfect. So I am going to definitely either purchase another set of these dividers, or I'm going to just put in some dividers that I've DIY'd for myself to make the 8. And so now I can go through and just label these and have them ready for me just to be able to flip to each of these pages instead of how I was doing before, just flipping through all of them manually. So that is all. Again, short video, I think, but I think it's important as a Frankenplanner to be able to be deliberate with how I'm dividing things in my Frankenplanner. And so for me, again, side tabs section out the planners, and top tabs mark where I am in that specific moment. I know a lot of Frankenplanners use only top tabs, and so they mark, or they separate the planners, and then they use a smaller like bookmark to mark the day or the week that they're in, and that just doesn't work for me. That just ends up being too many top tabs. So I like the side tabs to mark the sections and the top tabs to mark where I am in that particular planner. So that's just how I do it, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video. Bye guys.